Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are live here for the Red Sox Racing Series, sponsored by Not Your Average Grain. Hopefully our connection stays good. It was a little splashy just a moment ago. Anyway, welcome everybody here, ready to go racing here for the Red Sox Racing Series, live from Mid-Ohio Motorsports Complex. Should be a fun race. Right now, qualifying is underway, and you can kind of see we're kind of just watching. We've been watching this 32 here for quite a few laps now. This is James Allard, who's currently on top of the board. There's another guy I kind of want to go over to watch. And that is Mark Wilson, currently in P3. There you see Mark out there on the track in that number 323 car. We're going to be watching him as we get set to begin week number 4 here of the Red Sox Racing Series. Next week we'll be back at Canadian Tire, I do believe. Of course, if you've never raced around Mid-Ohio, you're kind of in for a treat. This is a special road course, but a lot of drivers like it. Some don't like it. But we got 13 turns around this place. It is 2.25 miles with 45 mile per hour pit road speed. Of course, it is in Lexington, Ohio, as we get set to go for the LMP2 cars right now are on track. We've already had the GTEs where Paul Gibson once again on top of the board. I don't think too many guys are super surprised by that. It has been his, what's the word I'm looking for? It's been his way of going about things this season. Let's just put it that way. He has been pretty flawless this season over and over and over again. And I kind of expect that to happen possibly once again. We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, we'll have to wait, but here comes Mark Wilson down pit road. He's going to change tires and possibly head back out, I would guess. Here's Dave Hill out there in that number 13 LMP2 car. Currently running P4. Here on a lap right now, 1 minute in. Only takes about a minute and 13 seconds or so to go around this place for these LMP2 cars. We are going to have a meetup between these GTEs and LMP2 cars once again. It happens every week, at least once or twice. We see that happen. Did he improve? Yes, I think so. He does. Goes to second on the board. Dave Hill jumps Cameron Bidwell and Mark Wilson. Ross Booth, who has basically dominated this season in the LMP2 cars over the Real Zippy over on Twitch, trying to get a little bit of clean track here to go out and put down a quick one with about 2 minutes left, or 2.5 minutes left. Who knows? This thing's going to be so wild. This race tonight is going to be pretty good, I would expect. We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, looking around right now, we're just watching some of the qualifying. Pate Albin chiming in over on Facebook as we appreciate Pate, as always. What's up, Pate Albin? I hope you're enjoying. I think it's Albin. I've always said Albin. I don't know. Anyway, hope you're doing good, Pate. We need to see you back in here soon. Of course, tonight is a doubleheader night from TRN. Raise Energy iRace and Legacy Cup Series comes up immediately following this race. Them guys, we're going to be going from 8 down to 4 drivers to see who runs for the championship in 2 weeks. No race next week, so these guys will have a week extra to get prepared for that race because Thanksgiving next week, so they will not be racing next week on Thursday. So we actually got a pretty good sized break coming up. We do have a special broadcast coming up here Saturday on the channel. If you guys haven't noticed, we've kind of cut back a lot on our broadcast. That's just for my personal reason. We've had plenty of opportunities to broadcast other stuff, but has chosen not to, just so we can kind of free up some time for myself and Derek as well, but mainly for me because Derek don't broadcast a ton anymore. So kind of what we're doing right now. Just kind of taking some days off for the holidays and stuff like that. We'll see if we get back into it. Who really knows? Wood Bella out on track right now. Here as well. You know, we may do something special for Thanksgiving night. I may actually just throw up a broadcast just for myself. Maybe run some VR racing or something. Who knows? Probably not, but I think football comes on there, so probably not. Anyway, William is out on track in the number 25. Currently 9th right now out of the 14 drivers that is running in the LMP2 cars, and he's going to bring that car down pit lane. Don't think he's going to have time to do another lap. David Berry will get one more lap here before this session advances. David Berry currently 5th right now. We'll see if he improves this lap or not in that number 14 car. Sold old wheel pedals today. There you go. Pate going to be getting back into racing here soon. That'd be good. Also got an announcement we're going to make during the iRacing Legacy Cup Series here tonight. Special broadcast, or not broadcast, but a special series will be starting here soon. Can't remember what day we're running out. I think Saturday. We'll be running something new, so that'd be fun. Or I don't remember what day it is. Anyway, gonna be doing that. Of course, we got the Trackside Racing Network Championship starting in January. That's gonna be fun. Here's David Berry, by the way, working off final corner. Does he improve? No, he stays exactly the same. Almost ran the exact lap as his best lap. Here's Mark Kujowski. He's actually on pit road. Here's Smith Shield. He does improve his lap. He jumps up out of the, I think he was back in 11th or 12th. He jumps up to 9th, however. Ross Booth, he jumps up to 4th. Mark Wilson, I believe, will be able to finish this lap. I think this lap will count for him. I like the paint he's running tonight. A little bit different. And this lap will count. Can he beat a 112? And it looks like no. And he will stay in P5, actually. James Allard and Paul Gibson, both on top of the board. So we're waiting on everything to wrap up here in qualifying. Everything looks like done. We're just waiting on a couple more cars. We got 27 cars in here tonight, which is pretty good for Mid-Ohio. Have to wait and see how this goes. It's always an interesting race when we come to a place like this. This track, not entirely big. It's only 2 miles, like I was talking about. All right. I think we're ready to go. By the way, let's hop down to the big track now. We want to thank Not Your Average Grain. They're the sponsors of this series. They've been here now for, I want to say, 3 seasons. I want to say. Don't quote me on that, but I believe we've been around here for 3 seasons or so. There's a look at Not Your Average Grain. Check them out, notyouraveragegrain.com. They are premier sponsor of this series and a great sponsor as well to have a part of it. Veteran owned home decor. You can check them out as we get set. Gridding has begun. We can take a look here at your starting lineup for Class 1, which is the LMP2 cars. It is going to be James Allard up on the front row alongside Dave Hill. Cameron Bidwell will round out in third. Ross Booth, Mark Wilson, David Berry, Trent Brown. Haven't seen that name in a while. Les Turner back in here again tonight. There is Chris Mitchell, Mark Strusky, William Cabela, Ed Sutcliffe, Kevin Cott, and Jason DeVries. He used to be pretty fast as well, if I'm not mistaken. And if we go over to our Class 2, GTEs, it is Paul Gibson, Colin Weatherholt, Tommy Ryan, Brian Stroudbeck going to be right there. Robert going to be rounding out in 5th alongside Cahill, I believe is how you say, or Nikhil, I believe is how you say his name. Going to be rolling off in 6th. Terry Dahl will be in 7th. Mitch Heller will be in P8 in the GTE. James Prostel Jr., he had a good run a couple weeks ago. Bill Paul Lucky, Robert Centerville, Derek Pemberton as well, had a good run a few weeks ago. And Dwayne McCarthy. So 13 GTE cars. And these guys are going to be separated by about 10 seconds as far as the green flag goes. You'll see these cars right here go, and then about 10 seconds later, you will see the GTEs. I did notice that Jason actually will start from the pits. That's going to be pretty interesting, seeing that these GTE cars are going to be going around him. Could be very interesting to watch that, but here we go. Pace truck is in. The green flag is out. We're racing underway here from Mid-Ohio. You see James able to get a pretty good lead here already as we get set to go racing here in the GTE series. Colin Weatherholt, or Paul Gibson, Colin Weatherholt And as the green flag waves for these guys, they are underway here as well in the GTE. We'll watch the first couple turns here before we jump back up to the LMP2 cars. These cars actually get single file really quick. Nobody really trying anything there, so we'll jump up as Cameron Bidwell going to go around James Allard. That is a pass for P1 in class. And also you see Ross Booth taking away third from Dave Hills. They work through this corner of the track. I know English. Here's the 14, David Berry working. Oh, we got one car already around. That is none other than James Allard, your pole sitter, going around here at Mid-Ohio. Here's a look at this replay sponsored by ATVO, our broadcasting software. And here's your look. I believe this could have been wheel spin, or he gets a curve. Just looks like wheel spin a little bit. So he loses a few spots there, all the way back to dead last. He's got a lot of work to do. But luckily only 3 seconds behind. He could definitely make that up. Back in the GTE, we do got a battle for the top spot. Paul Gibson battling Colin Weatherholt at the moment. This is Colin that we're currently watching right now as Paul continues to try to extend just a little bit. Brian Stroud back in fourth, working on Tommy Ryan. This is the Porsche versus the Corvette here in the GTE class. Mark Kudrowski, Les Turner, Les in a Batman 01 car. As Kudrowski goes around him, Les running the LMP2 car, and I think Terry Dahl actually painted this car for Les, and I absolutely love that car. If I'm not mistaken, I think I was told Les actually used to run a Batman paint scheme. We got another spin. Chris Smithshield has had an issue in that 26 car. He goes back to 13th. And here is that replay from this. And now we just had another one, and this was a big one, as Mark Kudrowski had an issue as well. Or I'm sorry, Mark Wilson had an issue. So we'll stay with the replay. Here's what happened to Mark in that 323 car. Looking good right there. And then going down to this next corner, this happened. Backs it into the sand trap. Actually backs it into the wall. And now Mark Wilson, who was fastest in practice, drops way back. Bill Pawlucky, James Prostel Jr., he's picked up a spot. Always liked James's paints. He always does a good job. Mitch Heller actually doing a good job. Mitch actually been running pretty good as of late. So is Terry as well. Terry actually has dropped back to 7th, but Mitch now currently running P6 as he works through turn 1. And begins his lap here once again. Yeah, as far as how many laps, we're thinking around 24 laps is what we're thinking here tonight. That could be, a little misconstrued as well. We're not really sure exactly how many laps. Of course, the race 30 minutes long, but we're not entirely sure how many laps it could be. Looking around right now. This is PG-13, by the way. This is the team name. See that PG-13 windshield? Of course, he is the teammate to our current race leader, Paul Gibson. I don't think Brian's part of that team, but maybe. Last Turner trying to run back down Mark Kudrowski. Everything kind of spaced out a little bit right now as far as the LMP2, but we know how quick that could change. These things are so quick, we can actually hop on board here with current driver Les Turner right now. Let's see if we can pop that up. There we go. Up to third gear already. Fourth gear, he's going 140 miles per hour going into the corner. Down to 105 already. Now back up again to 120 going into these. So if we can actually change this over to miles per hour. There we go. These things get up and go in a hurry. 130 mile an hour as he crosses the start finish line. 145 miles per hour going into turn 1. Right here's probably, I would guess, would be one of the fastest as well. This in a back spot we're about to come up on. as he reaches 153, 157 miles per hour top speed for less in that 01 car. Now here's what I want to see. I want to watch the speed. He's going to get faster than 150, I would guess. Oh yeah, he's definitely getting faster. 160, 170, 174 miles per hour. We're going into that corner. That's crazy. Brian Stroudbreck has actually closed the gap in here a little bit. I'm calling a weather halt at Porsche versus the Chevrolet Corvette. Still watching right at the moment. The battle right here for this second position. Notice Tommy Ryan has actually closed. I've been watching the lap times as well for him. He's really closed in tough right here as we ride on board right now with the driver from the 18 car. Tommy's one of the cars that or drivers who just can't count out to possibly win one of these races. Once again, we got to hit pit road at some point in this race. We're not quite to the halfway point yet, but we could be seeing some pit stops happening soon. Oh, what happened here? I thought we had an issue. I'm sorry. And Sutcliffe, Chris Smithshield, and I believe that is Mark Wilson. Yeah, Mark Wilson has worked his way back up. Remember, he spun. He's dropped all the way to the back and now worked his way from 13th back up to P9 as he will continue to try to climb back up through this field. A bit further back in the GTE. Kind of just looking around. Everybody, oh, here we go. Oh, Porsche gets a little bit of a lockup on that 171. That'll make things interesting as this race continues. Here comes Tommy Ryan taking a peek. Not going to be able to get it just yet. As you look down, this is a great view of Mid-Ohio. This place is actually pretty tough. It really don't look like it's that tough of a track, but when you actually race it is a lot faster track than what you expect. I'm not really that great at it, but a lot of people like it. And I'm not one of them guys. I'm going to be honest. I'm just not good at it, so. That's kind of what we're watching right now. Is the battle up in the GTE. This has been our closest, pretty much our closest position point battles all night is right here. With the second, third, and fourth place cars in the GTE. Nothing really going on right now up in the LMP2. I take that back. James Allard has caught the back end of Mark Johnson. Remember, we've seen James actually wreck earlier as well. He fell back and actually lost a lot of spots as well. And now he is working his way, or trying to work his way, back up through the field as he takes a peek to the inside. Still actually working now on Mark Kudrowski. It looks like he's going to be able to take this spot away. So he will move up to P6 now. Now here's something interesting. We do got some Cameron Bidwell working through this LMP2 traffic. This is a lot sooner than what I thought we would have it mixed in. We haven't even hit pit road yet. It's going to make some interesting pit stops if this continues on with some of these cars working up through that. Ross Booth working up through traffic as well. You see him going around Terry Dollar here. Terry going to let him definitely have that spot. Not going to put up a fight. There would be no point. So these are always interesting times when you start seeing these guys slowly start to work up through some of this traffic. And you see Trent Brown right now closing in right in front of him. David Berry now working behind Tommy Ryan and the GTE. You see right up in front David Berry looking to take that or pass Tommy there. And there you go. Whoa, that was interesting. Trent Brown a moment. Trying to get around Tommy there for just a second. Actually, that might not have been Tommy. It was not, actually. I apologize. It was, was that, Robert? I don't know. Not sure who that was. I think it was actually Tommy Ryan. I don't know. Either way. No, it was not. We're looking right now. Still a battle going on for this position with the second and third and fourth. The GTE. I'm still waiting for pit stops to happen. We do got something going on right here with Les Turner closing in on Mark Kudrowski. This would be, I'm sorry, closing in on James Allard. What happened? Mark Kudrowski on pit road. So this looks like scheduled. Does he got damage? Don't think so. I love that paint scheme though. Trent Brown out here. He's trying to run on David Berry. He's in that PG-13 car as well. This is interesting as they both go around. I believe that's Bill Paul Lucky right there. They're going around. Yes, it was. Kudrowski in and off pit road. He had 11.6 seconds. Total time 30.3. Feels like a little bit longer of a pit stop to what we should be seeing him, but either way. Ross Booth trying to close in on Cameron Bidwell. He is getting through lap traffic a lot nicer than Cameron Bidwell. Bidwell right here running behind the GTE, which I believe is his teammate right there in front of him. That is Colin Weatherholt getting past. That would lap all the way up to P2 in the GTE. Now it's going to be curious how quick can Ross Booth get around this PG-13 car teammate to the guy he's currently trying to run down. And yeah, not much work to be done there. Ross able to make pretty quick work of him. Ross putting a lot of pressure right now on that 56 for this top spot. As we continue to stay green, James Allard on pit road. That is scheduled. Kind of see right there. And done it away. Yeah, that's a good stop. 8.8 seconds. So here's Paul Gibson battling Ross Booth, who's interesting. Ross trying to figure out a way to get around this PG-13 car. Actually lost a lot of time trying to get around the overall GTE leader. He does get around him, but now 2 seconds behind. He was right up on the bumper a few moments ago. I would start expecting some more pit stops to happen right around this time for some of these guys. We are at the halfway point of this race, so don't be surprised if we start seeing some cars come down pit lane. Mitch Heller up. He had an issue. 45 car. This was right before pit road. Actually, this happened way before then. Oh boy, right across Terry Dollar. This was is running right behind the 7. And yeah, just gets out in the grass and just keeps going through the grass. That was definitely a scary moment for Terry right there in the 53. Luckily, didn't get no damage from that. And Les Turner, I believe, came to pit road as well. I think he came, yeah, right there. You can see him. He's actually now exited pit lane. So we've had 3 of the LMP2 cars, make that 4 of the LMP2 cars on pit road. Still waiting on our leaders from both classes to be the main cars to pit. Paul Gibson not coming in yet. Cameron Bidwell going up through turns 1. Ross Booth trying to run him back down. He's actually closed the gap in a little bit here. The 6 has on the 56. Nobody else on pit road at the moment. Brian Straubeck actually only he did pit the GTE cars last time by. He had a really quick stop, 7.1 seconds on as far as fuel goes in the car, 25.4 total time on pit road. That's actually faster than any of the cars that has been. Dave Hill right now running P3. Waiting to see when he'll be on pit lane. Here we go back up to the leader with Cameron Bidwell. See if he hits pit road this time. Pit road could get really busy this lap, I believe. Find out if he comes this time. He does not. Ross Booth, does he come this time? Nope. Dave Hill, will he come this time? He does not. Now we'll have to wait on David Berry to close up here to see if he comes down. Berry not electing to. Actually, not many takers this time that I'm seeing. Mark Wilson right here in that 323 cars. Not going to come down as well. A little bit further back, Derek Pemberton. Good race right here. Brian has already been on pit road. But the 82, here comes Bill Paul Lucky down pit road. Now Derek going to probably let Brian go here, I would guess. Brian definitely seems to be faster. He's already been on and off pit road. Oh, what happened here? Bill Paul Lucky missed his pit box. I'm sorry. Nothing happened. He was in the pit lane. He did have to back up. That's going to cost him a little bit of time. He is down and away now. Spending a pretty good amount of time on pit road, however. In that 81 car, he's about 3 seconds slower than Brian when we seen Brian hit pit road earlier. Pemberton has moved up to 8th place. He's been having some decent races here and there. If he can just continue doing what he's doing, he'll learn a lot by doing this. Cameron Bidwell once again did not pit last time. And once again, this time our race leaders did not pit. We do got one car on pit road. That's David Berry in the 14. Coming down pit lane. We'll watch the 14 here off pit lane. See what total time will be. Entire stop. That's what we're kind of anxious to more watch of. Anything below 27 is good. 28.1, not horrible by any means. Still waiting on our race leaders to hit, though. Which should be, I'll be honest, it should be this lap. I thought it would happen a couple laps ago, but not this time as well. At least not for Cameron Bidwell, Ross Booth, nor him. He is continuing to close that gap up, though. That's going to be an interesting race when they do hit pit road. Let's see if Paul Gibson elects to come down this time or not. Still a little bit of ways till we find that out, so we will. Oh, I apologize. They did not come down. Tommy Ryan actually did not come down as well. He still runs third. Let's see if Robert comes down in P4. He does not. Terry Dahl going to be our next GTE that will come down pit lane. Here, nope, he will not. Now back up to our race lead. Overall race lead in the LMP class. Ross Booth actually dealing with a lap car as well right now. A lot of room being given there that time. Let's see, a couple of cars on pit road. James Prostell Jr. Robert Sneedville on pit road as well. James Prostell total time on pit lane as he exits pit road this time. A good stop there. 24.4. That's one of the best stops we've seen. Of course, you take a little bit more less gas now than probably what you had planned. Since we are getting late in this one, we're already 8 minutes left, or 8.5 minutes left. As you see Paul Gibson getting out of the way of Mark Wilson, who may come down. Yes, here he comes. We will continue. We will watch him all total time on pit lane as Gibson hits pit road. We're looking for 25 seconds or lower for these GTE cars. I'm going to guess all these GTE cars. Tommy Ryan, by the way. Oh, 21 missed his box. He has to back up. That's definitely going to benefit Ryan as long as he has no issues. 7.7. So this is going to be a little bit longer of a stop, I believe, for Mr. Gibson. But we'll have to wait and see as he comes out of pit lane. And 26. So not a horrible stop. Probably wanted a little bit more. Chris Smithshield also in the LMP2 car on pit lane. He actually had to back up. So this is kind of a slow stop for him. Anything above 27 or below 27 would be good. He got a 28.3, so not horrible by any means. Anybody else on pit lane? Yes, Cameron Bidwell is on pit lane. Remember, he is your overall race leader in LMP2. We're looking for anything 27 and lower for these LMP2 cars. It looks like a good stop. Done it away. 26 seconds flat. That's the best pit stop so far in that LMP2 class. Now, Tommy Ryan, he's going to have to hit pit lane. Here he comes. He can make up a lot of spots here. Remember, Paul Gibson, not a bad pit stop, but a little slow. And we've seen Colin Weatherholt actually give up a little bit of spots too, because he actually had to back up. There's Tommy down the way, 6.8 seconds. Right now he's on pace for a second faster pit stop than our overall leader. There goes Paul Gibson by him just now. And Tommy Ryan, 26 seconds flat on pit road as well. So he actually did not gain anything on Paul Gibson, but he does take away P2 in that. Derek Pemberton hasn't hit pit road yet. I noticed that as well. Here's Mitch Heller. Terry Dahl has hit pit road. Mitch right now on pit lane. He will be down and away. 6.5 seconds worth of fuel. You also see the 13 coming into his box. We will check with Dave here in just a moment. He'll just now get ready to pull into his box. Ross Booth coming out of the box as well. Cameron Bidwell will retake the lead over there. And here is Dave Hill. Down and away. Anything below 27 seconds is good. 25.3. Ross Booth, by the way, had a little bit faster pit stop than Cameron Bidwell, but still runs P2. Everybody has been on and off pit road with the exception of one car, and that is the driver of the 82, Mr. Derek P., who should be coming down pit lane probably this time. He might be out of gas now. He is out of fuel. He's got to bring that car to pit lane this time for sure. Probably just going to be a splash and go. It looks like he should be able to get there. Probably going to lose a little bit of time, I would guess. But his pit stop right there at the front, so that's pretty good. At least he didn't have to go way far down for that. We'll see where he comes out in. Remember, he came out in like 8th where he was actually running. May lose that. We'll have to wait and see. He does take 5.2 seconds worth of fuel, so it kind of makes up for when he started spitting gas, but it looks like he's actually going to come out in around the same position in 8th from what I'm seeing. So now, we're back up top with the LMP2 cars. I'm not going to stay here real long, but there is a 1.9 second gap between that. Paul Gibson is out to a 3.5 second lead over Tommy Ryan. Then we go right here with Brian Straubach and Colin Weatherholt. Actually, Brian trying to take away P2 from Tommy. Once again, guys, tonight we will be live. The iRacing Raise Energy Cup Series. Immediately following this race, here in about 20 minutes or so, we'll have that pre-race for you guys. Make sure you lock on the broadcast. Share the heck out of this thing. The more shares, the better. Not only for us, but for this league as well. Somebody kicked up some dirt. Really, nobody's really catching none of our race leaders at the moment, so we're just kind of watching this one for now. LMP2 number 26 closing in. That is Chris Smithshield is getting past some of these GTE cars. It's always an interesting, fun thing when that gets there. You never know what could happen. Oh, what happened to Mitch Heller? He's actually on pit road. Something has happened to the 45. In just a second. Actually still sitting. Oh, here's what happened. Just loses it, goes around, and backs it up. Backs it out of the way, and then from there just toes. And that's unfortunate for Mitch. That's a long toe. And he was running pretty decent. That's going to officially knock him out of a good finish here in that car. Tough break for him. So Cameron Bidwell, Ross Booth runs 1-2 in LMP2. Paul Gibson, Tommy Ryan, very familiar with this, running in 1-2 in the GTE class. We're coming up on 1 minute and 58 seconds, or around 3 laps or so, is what we're estimating. Hop on board. Cameron Bidwell running right behind the Porsche. You see him make a pass there. I believe that was on Robert. It was in the 199. 2 laps to go for the driver of the 56. Tonight, guys, immediately following this race, the iRacing Raise Energy Cup Series. We will not be racing next week on Thursday due to Thanksgiving, of course. Hope everybody enjoys that in this crappy 2020 year. We're celebrating it, I don't care. But either way, hope everybody enjoys it with their family and friends. As we continue to watch, Cameron Bidwell has pretty much left Ross Booth. Ross actually now 8 seconds behind Bidwell. The closest battle we got is right here between Tommy Ryan and Tommy Ryan and Brian. P3 is the white flag about to come out here for our race leader. It will come out this time. Final lap here for the field. Not really much going on besides right here on the track is Tommy Ryan and Brian as they run second and third. Everybody else pretty much spaced out. Well, there's a battle right here. Look at this. These guys just took the white flag as well. James Allard and Trent Brown and Mark Wilson. We'll go back up front here in just a moment. Allard, remember, started on the pole. Here he goes, trying to get it fifth at least. Oh, contact between the 7 and the 32. Interesting there. That does help Mark Wilson as well. But coming across the start-finish line, winner here in the LLP2 car will be none other than Cameron Bidwell. Finishing P1. Ross Booth finishing second. Here comes Paul Gibson. He's got to finish this out as he is 3 seconds ahead over Tommy Ryan at the moment. What happened to Colin Weatherholt? He is not sure. Something happened to him. Not entirely sure what happened. It looks like he had an issue and he has fallen connection or something. But congratulations to our race winner, Cameron Bidwell. Going to be parking in victory lane along with Paul Gibson. Finishing order here tonight. And here comes Paul working to the last corner. And as you can see, Paul Gibson grabs the win away. All right, we're ready for some interviews. Let's see who we can get in here. Waiting to make sure who we can get. In just a moment, we will talk to the PG-13 guys who domination here tonight. First in each class. Congratulations to them. We're just waiting a couple moments here before we start on our pre-race interviews. There's Ross Booth going down pit road, and there Cameron Bidwell, and then right there Paul Gibson. Sounds like he may be out of gas. Yes, he is. But he will make it back to pit lane, so it's okay. All right, let's see if we can grab somebody. Waiting on a couple people to come in, then we will talk to them. Here we go with our race leader, Cameron Bidwell, overall LLP2 winner here tonight. Cameron, you got a copy?
Yeah, I'm here.
Man, domination up front in that LLP2 car tonight. Talk us through your night. What was it like driving around Mid-Ohio these things? This is not a very big track, but it's a very fast one.
Yeah, so when we were doing the practicing, I think we realized early on that track position was everything. So when I had the opportunity to pass James on the first lap, I took it because I think even if I was a half second or so off pace, it's going to be really hard for someone to get around me. So I was just hitting my marks, took low fuel. My car's literally trying to start right now on the starting line. So
I thought I heard you run out when you was coming in.
Yeah, definitely got.
Let me ask you, we go next week to Mosport where we kind of have put off because of this car having some issues at Canadian Tire. Have you had a chance to practice there since then, and what's your thoughts on going there?
Well, last time I was there, I was in the, I think GT4 with you guys, but I've since raced IndyCar there. Not this car specifically, but I like the track in general, so I'm pretty confident going there, I believe.
Yeah, it should be a good one. Either way, man, good job beating some of the best guys in here tonight by a pretty dominating fashion. 8 seconds, I think, over Ross. Not sure what happened to him. But either way, putting it up on a point here tonight for the LMP2. Any shout-outs or anything you want to give out?
Well, it feels good to be on the top again. Yeah, PG-13 Racing. Any of my family that's watching, any of my friends started Twitch channel, so Les, Terry, everything you guys do. Definitely appreciate it. It's a great
good
league.
job tonight, man. That's fun to watch you. Thanks, buddy. Next up, we got. Let's go ahead and talk to our race leader over in the GTE, Mr. Paul Gibson. We already know.
Hey, how you doing?
Pretty good, man. Probably not as good as you. You're a victory lane. Once again, how was it out there tonight driving these things around here?
Yeah, it's tight. This track is really hard to pass on. So I just, in practice, I just concentrated a lot on qualifying, trying to put that one single lap together. So, I could just goals just to try to be up front, and just, hold everyone off as best I could. So, it's just too hard to pass here if you start, 2 or 3 spots back. So,
yeah, we heard that even from Cameron. He was talking about how tough it was to actually pass here. So I'm guessing pit stops probably a big thing, which we always know they are.
Yep.
So let me go ahead and ask you about next week, because we did put it off last time we was planning on racing there. Going back to Canadian Tire in 2 weeks, not next week, because it's Thanksgiving. But what's your thoughts on going back to Canadian Tire, especially in this car? I feel like everybody's probably pretty confident in GTE heading there.
Yeah, it's definitely not my best track. I struggle there. I think I ran the GT4 there one time, and it's a tough track. So I think next week or in 2 weeks I'll just kind of be hanging on.
For sure on that one. Well, either way, you did a good job here tonight. P1. It was fun to watch you racing once again. Shout outs and all that.
Yeah, PG-13 racing again. Congrats to Cam winning in P2 for PG-13 and all the other guys that ran too. And then also to, of course, Les and Terry and you, Adam, for doing what you guys do to put this stuff on.
For sure on that one, man. Hey, good job.
All right, thanks.
Thanks, buddy. Next up, it is time to interview what I like to call one of the legends here in the Red Sox Racing Series, Tommy Ryan. You got a copy?
I'm a legend?
I got to call you that now. You're just too good not to call that.
Oh, wow. What a privilege, man. Thanks.
Whatever. We finished second here in Mid-Ohio. I pretty much ask you the same questions every time we interview, but overall thoughts on the race tonight from your point of view?
Really happy with P2. I mean, he's fast everywhere. He's going to be really hard to beat anytime. I actually did better this round than I did. I think the last time we were here, I was in a Ferrari or something, and man, I don't know what I was doing wrong, but I think maybe it was in the top 5 or somewhere then, and not even close to a podium. I think I ran 5th, but I just tried to relax and try not to make too many mistakes, and I got one off there. I just didn't want to keep having a bunch of throttle in it. I didn't want to spin out and kill. I forget who was behind me there in the Porsche, but just tried to.
Maybe I think it was Brian. Yes.
Yeah, it was Brian.
What's your thoughts on tire going in? Do you like it or no?
What was the question?
What's your thoughts on Canadian Tire? Do you like it in this car, or is it one of them tracks where you don't really know what to think yet?
No, I like it. I struggle at a couple of those corners. Canada corner down there is really tough, and if you're not correct, man, on the entry of that, you're going to pay the whole back straight away.
Yeah, that's probably.
I'll say that.
To me, that's probably one of the most interesting turns. One of the most interesting turns in the road side of things. I think everybody kind of knows that turn. That's that real tight hairpin. I think everybody kind of knows that turn. That's definitely going to be a game changer for sure. Either way, second tonight, once again, probably going into the Red Sox Hall of Fame. Tommy Ryan, shout outs and all that.
Yeah, thanks to Terry and Les putting this thing on. You guys doing the broadcast for us. It's just really good racing over here. Northern Toy Equipment, Patriot Fire, Coastal Safety Auditors. I have a Patriot Fire Corvette painted up here pretty soon.
I've been waiting on it, by the way.
Yeah, I just been getting with the owner, and getting all the loose ends tied up before we slap it on there. I'm sure we'll be running that same scheme at 24 at Daytona.
I feel like you need that. I feel like when you had that on your paint, it was on your car, it's pretty much unstopping you. So We'll see if that makes a
It
difference.
gets me a little racy.
It does. It does. Hey, good job tonight, man.
Yep, thanks. I hope to see you. Talk to you next week, man.
Yes, sir,
Appreciate
buddy.
it.
Hey, have a good Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, I got to thank my spotter too. He hangs out with me
Hey.
every week and
Okay.
helps me out with the tires and the fuel and stuff because I'm
That's
good at
tough to
running
do.
out. But anyway, thanks to Mark Allen for hanging out with me weekly. So see ya.
For sure, man. Hey, have a good night.
Yep.
Next up, Ross Booth putting it in P2 here tonight. Ross, you got a copy.
I got you.
P2, LMP2. It looked like something happened to you with a couple laps left because you was actually really there, and then all of a sudden you was 6 or 8 seconds back. What happened there?
I think it's corner 2. I just overdrove it and went into the kitty litter like a dummy, but I don't think it's hard to say if I would have gotten to Cameron. I think he was saving some gas to make it back to pit road there,
Yeah.
but not really sure. But just a super unlucky night for me. My qualifying didn't go as planned, and but Cameron drove a hell of a race. He had the pace for sure, and like last week at the ring with James, it's sort of just if you catch the cars in a good spot, you build a gap, and if you're unlucky, you fall farther and farther behind.
Talk about that because in turn 2, it looked like you really was right there on the bumper. I think it was a GTE car. It may have caused a little bit of a bad exit. I'm not sure, but what happened there? Because it looked like that you actually was right there on him.
Yeah, I just overdrove too and shot it into the kid litter. When you're trying to catch someone, you sometimes drive over the edge, and I drove over the edge there.
Right. For sure on that one, man. LMP2 going to Canadian Tire in a couple weeks now because we have next week off because Thanksgiving. What's your thoughts on officially going back there? Are you confident going there with this car? Because we know that this thing had issues last time we was planning on racing it.
Well, that's my home track, so nothing but a W will...
That might be dangerous for you saying that, just so you know. Like, nobody wants to hear you say that. Either way, P2 tonight, another good finish. Looking good so far in the championship hunt. Another championship possibly coming. We'll have to wait and see. Shout outs and all that, but
just shout out to Cameron. He drove a great race. And shout out to everyone that came out. I think we had 27 cars or something like that. So that's awesome to see. And thanks to my team, Satellite Racing, and TMC and Agi Racing as well. And we'll see everybody next week or whenever.
For sure. Hey, good job, man.
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy. All right, guys, that will do it for us here tonight. I got to go because we got to do this other broadcast. So I hope everybody enjoyed this one. Y'all tune in on Facebook and YouTube. We'll be live here in just a moment. Thank y'all for watching the Red Sox Race Series. Check out Not Your Average Green. Y'all